I should have seen the look of the official game when I said we're in a TV timeout. You can't start the game yet.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
For about 5 seconds it did.
It doesn't work that way, but we're off nonetheless. Great battle tonight. Two teams, well matched. Certainly one of those games that could ultimately play down the stretch, and it's a playoff rematch. Shepherd Hill was the team that knocked Leominster out last year.
Yeah, a little bit of payback on the line, but you know, you're playing for today. You're not playing for what happened last year, obviously. But you know, some of these girls are on that team, and memories don't go away. So I'm sure they're like nothing better than to lay one on Shepherd Hill tonight. Shepherd Hill comes in with back-to-back wins over Marlborough and over Holyoke and Shrewsbury. The third win of the season was over Marlborough, which is Marlborough's only loss, and we'll be seeing them next week, I believe. So they do got a tough team. Expect a good game tonight.
Foss for Shepherd Hill picks up her first team first. Third missed shot for the Blue Devils on that run.
Still a search for the first basket. We're almost a full 2 minutes into this one. 6.5 to play. Here in the first quarter, no score. Leominster and Shepherd Hill here on Leominster TV. And a first shooting foul of the night puts Kyra Foss at the line for the Rams.
Hutchinson picks up her first team first for the Blue Devils.
Quick look at the Shepherd Hill Rams being led by junior Bailey Savage, coming in averaging 14.6, along with a sophomore Molly Springer chipping in 11.4. And we've been seeing a lot of this year. Underclassmen leading the varsity teams, boys and girls.
Foss 2 of 2 on the trip. Shepherd Hill's got their first 2 of the night. It's 2-0 Rams. 6:20 to play here in quarter one, and a foul underneath the basket. Starting 5 tonight for Leominster: Skylar Finnegan, Nicole Koweski, Riley Skinner, Megan Hutchinson, and Faith Akacheri for the Blue Devils. The Rams starting 5 tonight. Billy just alluded to a handful of them. Bailey Savage, the junior, Kyra Foss, Morgan O'Malley, Molly Springer, and Julia Dandridge.
Koweski picks up her first team second for the Blue Devils.
Here's the drive from Savage. She kicks back out to the top for O'Malley, a 3. Back rim, no, and the rebound swatted down by Skinner, and the ball out of bounds belongs to the Rams.
Nice block there by Riley. You know, you alluded to a little bit about a little different strategy tonight and keeping Riley closer to home.
Fancy off the back.
Yes, indeed, a little sneaky play
off of
there.
Akacheri in for the basket.
The inbounder bangs the ball off of her back and then takes it off of Akacheri's back, lays it in and good. Remember, it just has to touch somebody inbounds. Doesn't necessarily have to be caught by one of your teammates.
Exactly. Just got to put it in play.
4-0 Shepherd Hill. 5:40 to play here in the first quarter. Hutchinson drives the lane, draws the contact. 2 shots coming up.
Blue Devils will have to be weary of that from now on for the game.
Of course, with our abrupt start tonight, not a lot of time to talk about a Blue Devil team off to clearly their best start in a lot of years in this program. An 8-0 start, 2-0 in Midwatch A.
It's great to see, but it's going to be a tall task tonight to keep that undefeated record humming along. But they're playing championship caliber basketball right now in the middle of the season, and it's nice to see the way Coach Palazzi has them playing together as a team.
Hutchinson will hit the second, and Leominster on the board, still trail by 3. 4-1 Rams, 5.5 to play here in the first quarter. Savage, cross-court skip into the hands of O'Malley. Ends up down low, looking for Springer. Around it goes for Savage in the right corner. Thought about a three. Back up to the top of the key for Foss. 10 to shoot on the possession. Savage pulls up for a three, and she hits. Hutchinson got a hand in her face late, but Leominster is down by 6. It's 7-1. 5 minutes to play in quarter one.
Savage already with 5 points in this quarter.
Hutchinson lost the ball right into the hands of Springer. Now here's Savage, had it poked away. Ball stays with the Rams on the offensive end.
You know, interestingly enough, you just mentioned Bailey Savage has 5 already, comes in with a team high 14-6, third in mid-watch A.
Savage with it, top of the key, 18 to shoot on the possession. Jumper for 2 from Foss doesn't go, but the putback will go from Molly Springer, and that's what Coach Palazzi said he was concerned about. All the game tape he saw in Shepherd Hill with the trees they have down low, their ability to catch, keep it above their head, and put it right back up for points. That's a real problem, second chance points.
Yeah, and we're seeing not a lot of boxing out going down there on the low post. You know, looking for rebounds. That's a couple of putbacks that Molly Springer has, just letting the ball come to her hands at that low post, right side of the basket.
Giovanna Smith seeing her first action, drives, kicks for Hutchinson, who hits the three with the toes on the line. 5-point game, 9-4 Rams. Savage trying to do too much, looks down low and overshoots her intended target. Ball out of bounds and back to the Blue Devils.
First turnover for the Rams so far in the game.
One of the things we're going to watch tonight, and I don't want to say it too loud, but Megan Hutchinson was struggling at the line. I was talking to her dad before the game, and she's been working on a few things. She did have 6 and 7 point additions to her scoring at the free throw line the last couple of games, and a little different change in concentration, so we'll have to see how that affects Megan Hutchinson as the game goes on.
An unforced error on that last possession turns the ball back to the Rams. Inside, it's Springer, turnaround, miss, Hutchinson the rebound. Will corral, she'll move it ahead to Finnegan. Finnegan, crossover dribble, cross the foul line, poked away from behind. Tipped forward and away we go. O'Malley goes down low for Dandridge, who lays it in for 2. And it's 11-4 Shepherd Hill. 3.5 to play here in the first quarter. Coach Palazzi in dangerous area to look for maybe a timeout here to try to stem the tide. Inside shot up, missed by Skinner, and right now everything. One shot and done for the Blue Devils. Savage back the other way, rims in and out. Escobalis tries to do too much, going back up floor, it's stripped. To the basket goes Springer with the shot, missed, but does get fouled, and Springer's got 2 coming from the line.
Yeah, not quite enough on that outlet pass there, trying to get that fast break going. Just didn't quite have enough oomph on it.
Escobalis picks up her first team third for the Blue Devils.
And the first will roll for Springer.
Nice little shoe just touch there.
Yes, indeed.
That's what we call it when the ball bounces friendly. If it bounced off wide, oops, she threw up a brick.
That's right. And they've tripled up on the Blue Devils, even 1 of 2 on the trip on that one. It's 12-4 Shepherd Hill, 3:05 to play in the first. Finnegan to Hutchinson at the left elbow. Crossover dribble, now the take to the basket. Stripped away there by Dandridge. Dandridge with the outlet up floor. Looking for Norton. Norton kicks back for Foss. Foss with the right-hand dribble, slows things down, 20 to shoot on the possession. Into the corner, Savage, head fake, drive left baseline. Inside pass, Dandridge, tied up there on the inside by Escobalis. Alternate possession, basketball stays with the Rams.
Nice quick hands there by Amaya, just grabbing it as she went up for that layup. Stopped her from doing it. Got the held ball.
Savage, inbounds, finds Norton. Norton the jumper, doesn't go. Rebound and putback opportunity for Springer was tipped out of bounds.
Three misses in a row down courts. Springer has set up shop right there on that low block on the right side. No Blue Devils boxing her out.
Savage for Norton. Norton now through, tipped down by Finnegan. Finnegan swatted back at her, kept it moving up floor, and down goes Skinner as she goes strong to the basket. She is fouled. 2 shots coming at the line.
Good heads-up play there. Riley Skinner taking it hard to the hoop.
Savage, her first, team third for the Rams.
And Skinner will make that one go.
Good looking foul shot right there.
Yes, indeed. Nice crowd on hand tonight for this playoff rematch. And battle between two of the top 3 teams in Mid-Watch A. Right now, the top team's on the ropes, but a pair of free throws by Skinner cuts the lead in half. It's 12-6 Rams, 2:20 to play here in quarter 1. Shot missed, Dandridge the rebound. Tried to hand it off underneath for Foss, and it's going the other way. Skinner to the basket, finger roll up on the glass, and the iron, quite kind, will fall. And the lead is 4. It's 12-8 Rams. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Through it was tipped on its way to Norton, now for Springer. Springer to the floor, battling with Finnegan. Recovers, tipped by Skinner, but recovered by Savage at the top of the key. 15 to shoot. No look. Savage down low for Dandridge. Look for an inside pass for Springer, out of bounds. Not touched in the ball back to the Blue Devils. Nice defense on the inside.
Good job along the baseline there. Blue Devils playing good hands-up defense. You know, you see a lot of kids are lazy until they think the pass is coming their way, but Blue Devils playing good hands-up defense there that time down the court.
Akacheri will do the inbounding duties. She'll put it in the hands of Finnegan. Finnegan for Hutchinson, stands at the foul line, takes a look. What she sees is a lot of trees between her and the baseline. Stripped from behind is Akacheri by Norton. Akacheri gets back in the play and cleanly pokes it away, but it's Rams basketball, 28 to shoot.
Oh, something going on there.
And the official table with the buzzer. Shot clock went off in the stadium. It is now back on. Inbound from Savage. Immediately put up by Springer and missed. And Akacheri's got herself a rebound.
Gonna have to watch for that lazy pass under the basket on those inbounds.
Skinner slows things down, hands it off for Finnegan. Poked away, back toward the timeline, kept it alive, over Savage for Akacheri. Tipped on its way to Skinner. Skinner, strong take, hit the side of the rim, didn't go. Hutchinson in the trees, goes up, she's fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2.
She had that look on her face right there. No denying me getting back up to the hoop after she got that rebound. Good job by
sheer
Megan.
Determination from Hutchinson.
Exactly.
And she'll make the first. The lead is 3. It's 12-9. 1:07 to play here in the first quarter. And that one goes as well.
Whatever she's doing, it's working.
The lead is 2. 12-10 Shepherd Hill. 1:02 to play here in the first quarter. Savage with the high arcing 3, and she hits.
It's her second.
And the lead is 5. It's 15-10 Shepherd Hill. Savage closes on Finnegan. Finnegan almost lost her pivot foot. Was able to get it away to Akacheri. Now she gets it back. Little screen. Throws one up on the rim. Won't go for Finnegan. And the rebound down for Springer. Problem I see is Hutchinson was out around the foul line when that second chance opportunity came. Koweski down on the inside among the trees. Ball poked away, but last touch by a Ram. Blue Devils basketball, 34 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 4-second differential shot clock to game clock.
Good job by Nikki to get in the way there, and 2 Rams battling over it, hit it out of bounds.
Pass jumped there by O'Malley, tipped away from Skinner, but out of bounds on the sideline.
I was going to make that call.
You were all over it.
I had that.
Skinner looks for an inbound, floats for Hutchinson. In play, Hutchinson the drive. Up and under she goes and can't get it over the rim. Battles back in the play though, keeps it alive. Akacheri the shot up and it goes.
That's all Hutchinson right there, keeping that ball alive. Good job by Megan.
15-12, 3-point game. Savage finds inside, finds Lindstrom. Shot up, back rim, no. Out of bounds. No, it was a foul call on the rebounding action. And the ball to the Blue Devils.
Molly Springer there get called for the loose ball foul right there in that same spot. She's been camping all night on the offensive end, and balls are bouncing her way on missed shots.
They are big from front court to back court. These Rams are very big. Full court pressure here. Seconds remaining. Koweski's good if it goes. Got the back rim and out. And through 1 quarter of play, the lead is just 3. It's Shepherd Hill 15 and Leominster 12.
After being down by 8 there, good job battling back. Was that 12-4 and good job. Some nice defensive stands there. Good a couple of steals, but making some shots and making foul shots.
It's about the best end result you could possibly hope for in that case would be to only be down 3 through 1 quarter of play. Leominster is able to stay in the game. Kate, I know you're doing some number crunching there.
I am.
And thanks for leaving me hanging. Leominster High School basketball right here on Leominster TV. Want to thank all of our great sponsors throughout the year. And, of course, for replays of this one, you can check your Verizon or Comcast channel guides for Leominster TV, the education station to be most specific. Pretty much loaded up on the schedule front to back with boys and girls basketball and ice hockey as well. All of that right here on Leominster TV. We thank, of course, our great sponsors, supporters, and you for being a part of this one. Games also available online anytime at Leominster.tv for your media on demand. Our award-winning executive producer was chipping in on the broadcast as well, Bill Thompson.
Well, he wanted to know if we alerted our viewers why we kind of joined the game a little late. I explained to him that, we told the officials we were in TV timeout to wait for us, but they wouldn't. So that's why we didn't miss any action, but just about a minute of clock time. I think when we came in, it was still 0-0, so you didn't miss any action.
Certainly didn't miss much of the excitement. We had a little bit of play-by-play, too, even at that moment in time. Here's the drive. Count the basket and the foul. Javonna Smith with the strong take to the hoop. She got warded off on her way. And a chance for a 3-point play and a chance to draw even just 8 seconds into the second quarter.
Yeah, Javonna having herself quietly a nice season, scoring 6.3 on average. Only a sophomore.
And that one won't go, and the rebound is down for Dandridge. Outlet up floor for Norton. Norton looking for Savage. The pass is too strong. It's out of bounds, and the ball back to the Blue Devils with a chance on this trip up the floor to have their first lead of the night.
And I'm scanning the floor here, and I think Kate commented, tall team, and I'm looking. They don't have any short girls on the floor right now. They all got some height to them.
Nope. Average height or better. Down low, Hutchinson with the take against Dandridge. Clean block, stripped it away. Battle of the floor. Savage wanted it more. Took it away from Finnegan. Up floor. Threw it away, though, into the hands of Skinner. Skinner pressing back the other way. Doesn't have the numbers. It was poked away to Smith. Smith will try the opportunity. Drive to the foul line. Gave up the dribble. Finnegan flashes back to the top. Now inside. Smith gets another opportunity. Takes it to the paint and picked up the pivot foot. Traveling violation. Ball back to the Rams.
Tied up there with no place to go with the ball.
Now, Kate, you were doing some calculations through 1 quarter.
Apparently I'm going slow tonight. Right now, Blue Devils in that first quarter only had 3 from the field. They're only shooting 25%. Shepherd Hill, however, a lot more missed shots, only shooting 26%. Right now, offensive rebounds favor Shepherd Hill and multiple attempt possessions as well.
Lindstrom crashes the basket and shoves away a couple of Blue Devils on the rebounding action. So the ball back to Leominster. And the second foul picked up there by Ingrid Lindstrom.
17 foul. We're going to start shooting now the rest of the first half here on the Blue Devil side.
Right now, Springer and Lindstrom for the Rams with 2 fouls apiece. So we'll be watching them later on as this game goes on if those fouls continue to add up.
Smith, shot up, does not go on the front end of the 1-and-1. 15-14, Shepherd Hill clinging to a 1-point lead after being up by as much as 8 in quarter number 1. Lindstrom through to Foss. Shuffled the feet, ball back to Leominster.
That was a quick travel call there. Picked up that pivot foot on the way to dribbling. You could probably call that almost every time at this level.
Absolutely. Hutchinson, square at the left elbow. Goes into double coverage looking for Smith, and it was poked away. Coach Palazzi goes to the bench, not happy with that one. O'Malley, corner for Dandridge. Back to O'Malley, 18 to shoot on the possession. Here's Foss. Inside, Skinner sticks out the knee, knocks it down. Fresh 30 for Shepherd Hill.
Coach Palazzi out there urging his kids to play tougher defense, wants more pressure on the ball.
I hate that full reset rule on the kicked ball. I like the college rule. College rule presently, of course, they reset to 15 if they are under 15. If they're over 15, the shot clock stays where it is.
A team playing good defense doesn't get rewarded at all. They actually get penalized.
Shepherd Hill finishes the possession with the basket, 17-14. Their lead is 3 once again. 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Hutchinson with the handoff and the screen. Smith, the runner, missed. Got her own rebound, though. Bouncing inside Escobalis. Back out for Skinner. Skinner the drive in triple coverage. Tried the finger roll, well short of its intended target, and then commits the foul, scrambling back into the play.
Riley a little out of control there on that whole sequence. Had a shot blocked and tried to come back and do a little too much there on the defensive end on that loose ball.
Picks up her first, team 4th for the Blue Devils.
5:45 remaining in quarter 2, and the Rams with a 3-point lead looking to expand. Foss with a little pivot. Now back top of the key. Finds O'Malley. O'Malley in the corner for Savage. Savage a step back 3. High arcer, missed long. Tip from behind by O'Malley away from Finnegan. Ball still loose. Battle to the floor. Here's Springer. Finnegan in with her. Ball comes out of that pack for Akacheri. Now up floor for Skinner. Skinner the drive, draws the contact, gets fouled by Savage. And Skinner's got 2 coming from the line.
Well, that was a pretty chaotic exchange down here. And I'm not sure if that original shot didn't get any rim, but I saw the shot clock reset with really no possession gain. So fortunately it didn't work against the Blue Devils there with that shot clock reset. They finally gained possession.
Colorful language going on out there on the court. I think that was my favorite word.
Skinner hits the first, and it's a 2-point game. 17-15, Rams with the lead. Skinner can get Leominster back to within 1. And that one will go on the line drive. 17-16, 5:15 to play here in the second quarter. Near side, O'Malley gets a look from the left side 3.
That was pretty.
Not a hand in her face, and that one will go. Leominster playing that 2-3 zone. Coach Palazzi wants to pack it on the inside. That one tipped away. Foss back down floor, tipped away by Smith, and a great hustle play to keep it alive on the baseline, but eventually ran out of real estate.
Almost got it from behind there, but couldn't quite have enough room on the baseline. Watch that inbounds. There it is, right under the basket.
Quick inbound, up, missed everything. Hutchinson's got herself a rebound. To Finnegan. Finnegan has it taken away by Savage. Battle on the floor. Held ball the call, and once again the arrow is Rams.
Good aggressive recovery there by the Rams, scrambling for that ball.
There's certainly no love lost between these two teams.
No, not at all.
I seem to remember this looking very similar to last year's playoff matchup. Savage for Foss. Cross-court skip for O'Malley. O'Malley thought about going one way, went the other. Found Foss crossing through the middle, then for Dandridge. Tip from behind by Hutchinson. In the hands of Akacheri. She outlets up 4 for Finnegan.
I don't even remember the playoffs last year. You remember everything.
Finnegan for Akacheri. Now Skinner. Little head fake. Drive. Scoop shot. Up and it goes.
That was pretty.
Yes, it was.
Slashing to the basket.
20-18. Shepherd Hill. 4:10 to play here in the second quarter. Leominster's been as far away as 8, as close as 1, and never got any closer. And there's a drive to the basket by Dandridge, and a little contact by Faith Akacheri. It's going to give Dandridge 2 shots from the line.
Akacheri picks up her first. Team 5th.
Dandridge with, we'll call it an unorthodox shot. Looks a bit like a catapulting action coming from the foul line.
Oh, wow.
That one went.
A little bit of a jump in there. You don't see too many players take jump shots from the foul line, but
and there's like this long,
as long as it goes,
like C-curve with her body that goes with it. Strange. 21-18, Shepherd Hill's lead.
50% effective.
Is 3, that's right. And that's 50% more effective than I was.
Full court press,
and
it
There
works.
it is. She makes the strip. Missed the first shot of the possession. Skinner got inside, pokes it away, but Shepherd Hill keeps the basketball.
Didn't look like the Blue Devils are ready for that inbounds press there, and didn't really have an answer for it.
Savage looking for a place to go. Inbound to the corner, Dandridge. Up top, finds Foss.
Oh, she had a look.
Yes, she did, but thought better of it. Left corner,
Give us Savage.
Savage brings rain with the angle, but it goes.
That's her third 3.
Skinner, up floor finds Hutchinson. Step back jumper, doesn't go. Koweski up with it, and a traveling violation called, and the ball to Shepherd Hill.
That
She
right
gave
there.
that go ahead, I'm sorry, Kate.
I've got 13th turnover for the Blue Devils so far.
Not the way I saw that play going. Hutchinson steps in the passing lane, finds it up floor for Skinner, lays it in and good. And it's a 4-point game, 24-20. Shepherd Hill's lead is 4, 3:20 to play in the second quarter. Savage with the inside pass, and Hutchinson with a little hand check called.
That'll be her second. Team 6th, and it is her second.
Looks like she might be taking a break here, finish out the half on the bench, save her for the second half.
Hutchinson, the type of player, you know exactly what she's thinking. Where's her emotions on her sleeve?
No doubt about it, and
No
not happy
doubt.
with that foul call. Savage goes up top, finds Foss into Savage in the right corner. Long 2, missed everything. Dandridge, though, the putback, scrapes the glass and it falls.
A lot of multiple chances for the Rams on each possession.
Up floor, here's Skinner. Skinner slips away from a defender, missed everything, lost it out of bounds. It was tipped by Shepherd Hill, and Leominster will keep the basketball. 2:57 to play in the second quarter, 26-20. Shepherd Hill nursing a 6-point lead.
Riley's got to be careful not to try to do too much here in this situation.
Smith, the drive, threw up the shot, got fouled, and Smith's going to the line for 2.
If that's on Savage, that'll be her third. And it is. She should be coming out now.
I would imagine she may sit for an extended period of time.
Which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for the Blue Devils.
Oh, no, I would say
She
that
has been
that's
a thorn in their side under the basket, especially on the offensive rebounding end.
Smith gets the first one to go. As developments go, this might be the most positive thing to happen to Leominster in the first half thus far.
She's the type of player, Savage is, that plays full throttle no matter what.
Smith gets that one to go as well. So the lead is 4, 26-22. 2:50 to play here in the second quarter. Foss into the corner to Dandridge. Swatted away from behind from Springer. Held ball. Alternate possession, Leominster basketball.
Good job by Smith there to hang on to that. Javonna Smith, very active, had her hands up and in on a lot of loose balls and turnovers tonight. I see future point guard there as only a sophomore. Plenty of time to develop, but she got some quickness and some ball skills.
Here's Finnegan. Up floor to the inside. Akachiri couldn't get it over to the support on the backside of the rim. And back the other way comes Shepherd Hill. It's Foss. Foss to the arc. Tipped by Skinner. Did make it to its destination in Springer, but a ball got lost. Handle lost. Up floor Smith. Smith to the basket. Fouled again. Smith going to the line for 2.
Showing off her ball handling skills right there. A little tricky crossover. Working the left side of the basket. Good job by Giovanna.
That's the 10th team foul for the Rams. Sorry, Todd.
No, you're fine. About 1/2 step better on the timing, and she probably gets the layup to go as well. Her timing was just off.
Yeah, that's, but you know, once again, she is only a sophomore, and I really see her developing the next year or two. Taking over this team with Nikki Koweski graduating out, and you know, they'll be looking for somebody to help run that point.
Smith can bring the Blue Devils within 2. No roll. Rebound down for Springer. Lead is 3. It's 26-23 Shepherd Hill. 2:15 to play in the second quarter. Here's Foss. Come to the near side. It's Bellatoni who is in for Savage. Bellatoni looks unsure of herself. Back to Foss. And a little foul called out beyond the line. That's the 7th against Leominster. It will go against Smith.
Shepherd Hill shooting the bonus, 1-1. Both teams will be shooting the rest of the half.
That one won't go. It falls off. Loose ball to the floor. Skinner crashes all the way to the floor. She goes. Lost possession. Protected the ball. Now Finnegan had it poked away. Straddling the timeline in a chaotic situation. The ball ends up in the front court with Leominster. Here's Smith with an open 3. It was a dead duck. No spin. Tipped out of bounds. And the ball will stay with Leominster. 1:49 to play in the second quarter. 26-23 Shepherd Hill's lead, and Leominster with the basketball. Finnegan, drive through the paint, lost to the floor, recovered, bounce pass into the hands of Skinner, stripped on her way up. Ball going the other way. Here comes Foss.
Right now, the Blue Devils need to start taking advantage of the fact that Savage is not out there for the Rams, and they are not.
Springer missed the first shot, up with the second, got hit, and Coach Palazzi says that was either a clean block. Referee says she was held down.
Held down by the ball.
Yes, indeed.
They were both holding the ball.
Team 8th for the Blue Devils, and it's Escobales' second.
I think Coach would have settled for a held ball call, but he was not happy with the foul call result. Springer missed the first. 90 seconds flat remaining here in the first half. That one goes 27-23. Shepherd Hill's lead is 4. Bellatoni defending the inbound, lost it out of bounds. It was last touched by Bellatoni, who protected the sideline. She's who poked it away. Nobody else touched it, and Shepherd Hill's getting the basketball.
Yeah.
So
no comment.
You got that going for you.
I'm sitting 5 feet farther away.
With glasses on. Maybe it's your corrective lenses.
Akacheri had it tipped away from behind, and the ball stays with Shepherd Hill.
Sometimes you see things you don't think you see, or you see things, I don't know.
It wasn't a mirage, I'll tell you that. Here's the inbound. Springer, turn
Ooh,
around, missed everything. Rebound down for Escobales, and Springer gets hit for the foul call.
I don't think anybody's going to be left in this game soon.
That's gonna put her on the bench too, possibly. Here's the half winds down.
And the chatter continues out on the floor as well.
It's getting bad.
A little chippy.
Yeah, I would say chippy is a fair way of putting
a little
it.
chippy.
There's a lot of personality out there at this point in time.
Springer's third.
None of them are going to be left on the court by the end of the game. So,
Escobales too strong. Springer on her way out. Ingrid Lindstrom will check in. Now, I don't know this for a fact because obviously the press materials for high school
30 and
basketball
31, is that what you're looking at?
not entirely, something available.
tread lightly.
However, Lindstrom and Shepherd Hill, put that into context for me.
I know.
I don't know if it's a niece,
that
a daughter,
is there.
A sister of some of the brothers that have played, but there's a family resemblance. That's for
Oh, there is. You're right.
The inside shot down does not go. Under a minute to play here in the half. Missed everything, but right into the hands of Dandridge, who put it back in good.
Yeah, good inside position on the weak side there.
Lead is 6 once again, thrown away by Finnegan. Blue Devils youth showing it tonight. Dandridge taking it to the basket. Escobales with a little bump. Call for the foul.
I think Shepherd Hill's caught on to the fact that the Blue Devils are not handling that inbounds press at all.
Talking about Lindstrom, I don't see the big guy in the house, so I don't know it's an immediate relative.
Perhaps not immediate.
Escobales picks up her third, team 9th for the Blue Devils.
Of course, referring to their head football coach at Shepherd Hill, Chris Lindstrom.
That was the big guy.
That's the big guy.
That's the big guy.
30-23, the lead is 7.
You may recognize him from football with the neon yellow
You'll say with the neon yellow look. Never wearing those Shepherd Hill colors. Can't imagine why.
Yeah.
35.5 to play here in the half.
Akacheri unable to handle that pass under the basket.
34 seconds remain.
Blue Devils have cut this down nicely, but Shepherd Hill slowly building that lead back up as the half winds down.
About a 4-second differential, shot clock to game clock.
Lots of passing.
Cross court into the hands of Foss. Foss bouncing inside for Lindstrom. Look down low to Dandridge. Now back up top, Bellatoni. The inside Lindstrom. Back out in the hands of O'Malley. Line drive doesn't go. Rebound Escobales. 10 seconds to play in the half. Skinner is 2-on-2 down the floor. She had it stripped away from her out of bounds. 5.5 to play in the half, and Leominster keeps the basketball.
So we can't get some inbounds magic here.
Escobales will do the inbounding duties. Finds Akacheri. Cross court Skinner. Steps up for the three. Front rim, no. Ball down, and that is no good.
I was going to say that's the longest 5.5 seconds of my
12
life.
online, At the half, the score, Shepherd Hill 30 and Leominster 23. A 7-point game at the half. Ebbed and flowed at points, but it certainly has flowed a lot more for Shepherd Hill in the long run in the first half. We'll break it all down for you. Kate's got a full stat recap coming up here at the half. Plus, we'll preview second half action. All that coming up when we continue. You're watching Leominster High School basketball right here on Leominster TV.
Welcome back. I'm Kate Robbins alongside Bill Thomas. We've mutinied against Todd as he's decided to go talk to somebody in the crowd, and so we've taken over the halftime show right now. Shepherd Hill Rams up on the Leominster Lady Blue Devils 30-23. Bill, what have you seen so far in the first half of play that you think the Blue Devils need to do in order to rectify this game?
Well, first and foremost, got to stop boxing out under the basket, getting killed by offensive rebounding by the Shepherd Hill girls, and a lot of putbacks there leading to second chance points. You know, Blue Devils fell behind early, battled back, made it a 2-point game, but somehow it got away from there in the latter minutes of that second quarter. And second 7-point halftime lead here could have been a little larger too, but Blue Devils fortunate that Shepherd Hill missed a couple of shots down the stretch and only looking at being behind by 7.
Bill, talking about rebounds, specifically for offensive rebounds for Shepherd Hill right now, they lead Leominster Blue Devils in the offensive rebounding category 10-4.
That doesn't surprise me from what we saw.
Not at all. All right, let's quickly take a look at stats from the first half. We'll take a look at the Shepherd Hill Rams side of the ball first. Savage with 11 points, Foss with 2, O'Malley with 3, Springer with 6, Dandridge with 8. Right now as a team, they're shooting 6 of 11 from the charity stripe. That's 55%. As a team, they're shooting 29% from the field and 38% behind the three-point arc. Right now, other team notable stats, 17 rebounds, 6 steals, and 13 turnovers for the Rams right now. On the Leominster Blue Devils side of the ball, right now, Smith with 5 points, Skinner with 10 for the Blue Devils, Akachiri with 3, and Hutchinson with 6. As a team, the Blue Devils are shooting 10 of 16 from the charity stripe. That's 63%. 13 rebounds for the Blue Devils, 4 steals, 15 turnovers. They are shooting 29% from the field and 20% from behind the charity stripe. One thing to note, we have for the Shepherd Hill Rams, Savage, number 11, only had 1 basket in that second quarter and spent a majority of the time on the bench because she has 3 fouls. The Blue Devils let 2 other Rams, both Springer and Dandridge, have a go at it in that second quarter. They need to stop all 3 now until those fouls keep adding up.
Yeah, you know, I think fouls might spell the difference in this game. I believe there's is one other player for Shepherd Hill playing with 3 right now. Or
yes, right now Savage and Springer with 3, Lindstrom with 2, and Foss with 2. So those are adding up quite quickly. 2
of their key players, and we'll have to see if Megan Hutchinson can get her game on track. She's playing with 2 right now, but she needs to start lighting it up under the boards.
You're absolutely right. Well, Billy and I have been caught. Todd's not happy, and we'll have second half action when we return. As always, you're listening to watching Girls Hoops on LTV.
The officials asking
back
us if we're
inside the
ready.
gym at Leominster High School. Let's try that again. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School. They do the halftime on their own.
No.
They think they can just
we
talk
do.
when I need to
What?
talk.
What do we need him for?
Play-by-play only.
Leominster High School basketball on Leominster TV.
We could fake it,
There's
right?
a mutiny going on.
I did actually say that in the beginning. I said, we've mutinied. Here we go.
Happy to have you along with us. Got to spend a few minutes speaking with former Leominster High School head coach and legend.
Living legend.
Coach Ron Mazzaferro had a nice conversation
You should
with
name
him
the
here
court
at the
after
half.
him.
I agree 100%.
Let's start a petition.
Let's start a petition. At least we said it here first. If somebody else does it, mark the date and time. Meanwhile, we start second half action. Leominster trailing by 7. In the beginning of this one looks fairly similar to the beginning of the last one. Unbalanced situation up and down the floor, and Skinner gives a foul. To the line goes Springer, but Springer, of course, playing with 3 fouls, as is Savage. I am shocked that they are both out on the floor to start the second half.
And not me. I think that they got to get their game in, and they got to learn to play with fouls. I'm sure a 4th foul will lead them to making a trip to the bench rather quickly. But once again, Shepherd Hill using its size underneath and working the ball around the perimeter, then getting it into the low post and taking advantage of it from the foul line.
Springer hits that one. 32-23. 7.5 to play here in quarter 3.
With those two, she is 4 of 6 from the line. I enjoy just cutting you off every chance I get.
Skinner missed the shot. Now Akacheri through to Koweski. 10 to shoot. Koweski got it back. Tried to get the shot up and didn't go very far, but Dandridge kind of walked across the baseline out of bounds, and the ball back to Leominster. Still only 6 seconds on the shot clock.
So there's that.
Skinner will inbound for Finnegan. Finnegan to Skinner.
Shoot
Back
that.
to Finnegan. She'll take it with 4 to shoot.
Oh.
And she hits. And it's 32-26, a minute into this third quarter.
Beating the shot clock there for 3 by Skylar Finnegan.
Not entirely certain that she wasn't off that situation, but nonetheless, she made it count.
Another offensive rebound for the Rams. They've had them in droves.
Savage with the high arcing 3. That one won't go. The rebound is down. Akacheri with the bump on the floor.
Julia Dandridge, once again, using her length, size. Shepherd Hill just dominating the boards, especially on the offensive end on missed shots.
Akachiri picks up her
Nobody paying attention again.
Nobody watching the
And there's a
inbound.
pick and another 2-point.
Wow.
6 points in the exchange, and Coach Palazzi's got to take a timeout. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's absolutely unbelievable.
Standing around right there and then getting the pocket picked on that second inbounds.
Oh, boy.
One team tonight has looked like they were 8-0, and it's not the one wearing blue and white tonight. I will say that. Leominster has looked off balance from the word go. First time the ball went up in the air. They have not looked comfortable out on the floor. And at the same time, Shepherd Hill continues to push the tempo. Push, 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 push. And, I mean, 6 points on that exchange down the floor.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there, but lack of concentration. That's all it takes, about less than 15 seconds, 6 points. But I think the girls are going to know that Coach Palazzi's a little unhappy with that little sequence right there. He could have probably just called timeout and had the girls come over and stand around for 30 seconds, and I think he still could have got the same message across to them. They definitely got to wake up, especially on inbounds.
36-26. The lead is now 10. And here comes more full court pressure. And Hutchinson is dribbling the ball up floor. Found a guard, Finnegan. Going to the floor she goes, but shoveled it ahead to Skinner. Now Hutchinson playing from the right elbow. In
Love
the corner,
those camera
Skinner.
flashes.
And out of bounds, it was poked away.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, it is, as a matter of fact.
Really?
You don't notice them as much in big stadiums, but there were strobes on the backboards.
That's a lot, like, in your face. Oh,
Wesky shuffled the feet. Spiked the ball in frustration. 6:19 to play in quarter 3. Leominster down 10. It's 36-26.
that would drive me nuts. Just saying.
Here's O'Malley for Savage. Savage with a little juke move back up to O'Malley. Inside and through Springer. Springer finds Foss. Tried to throw it back. Elbows are interlocked, and Skinner gets called for the foul. Right now, Skinner just strikes me as somebody who's playing just a little too fast. She's just a little too out of control, and she's getting kind of caught up in arms and things like that, and she's frustrated by that foul call, but her arm was between a player who had both hands on the basketball, and it's going to be a foul.
Well, like you say, maybe she's trying to do a little too much, pressing a little bit maybe tonight, feeling she has to bring the team back on her own back.
Here's the turnaround shot. That one won't go. And down with the basketball comes Hutchinson, who almost lost that one in the backcourt.
Megan Hutchinson does a lot of good things, but you don't want to handle the ball off the rebounds.
Smith, a 3 with a hand in her face, missed. Dandridge the rebound and lost it out of bounds. There was a little bump from Hutchinson on the way back down, and that may have thrown the timing off with Dandridge. But Leominster's got the basketball. Maybe a chance to take the lid off the basket in the second half.
Everybody around the same team.
Hutchinson with Finnegan. Nobody knows who's taking the inbound right now. Little crossover, though. Finnegan chucks it up, does not go, and the rebound's down for O'Malley.
Nice little move by the freshman.
O'Malley for Savage. Down low, Dandridge. Missed everything. Ball tipped all the way back out to O'Malley. Corner, Savage, racked again for the 3. Too strong, in and out, back up top to Foss. Third shot of the possession. Foss with a little runner. She missed that one. Hutchinson's got a rebound, and Dandridge called from going in.
A lot of reaching and grabbing fouls tonight. First one of the second half on the Shepherd Hill Rams.
Bronx
Dandridge
cheer
picks up her first.
from the Blue Devil crowd. 5 minutes to play here in quarter 3. Finnegan.
She can ball handle.
Yes, she can. Back
I
to
was thinking
Skinner,
the same thing,
and
Kate.
foul on the floor.
That drive we saw over here on our side earlier, a nice little crossover. And once again, only a freshman. Definitely time to grow into her game. We're going to have fun watching her.
If I tried to do that, I'd be on the floor. O'Malley picks
Gotta get it in.
O'Malley picks up her first for the Rams.
Inbound Finnegan, shot well short. The putback doesn't go. Hutchinson, third time's the charm. And that one will fall. 36-28, Shepherd Hill with the lead. 4:40 to play here in quarter 3. Shot from Foss is long. It got tipped out of bounds off of Dandridge, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Once again, Dandridge positioned nicely on that weak side. Just couldn't corral that ball as it came down. Full court inbounds pressure here again.
And here comes Smith. Now back to Skinner.
A lot of jerseys over there on
And
Skinner.
no help, and a bailout foul call.
Wow.
I mean, I can't.
3 maroon jerseys over there.
I mean, you are Skinner, who's dribbling horizontally across the floor and is seeing
Nobody.
not my teammate, not my teammate, not my teammate. Where
No
is my
help.
nearest teammate? On the other side of the timeline.
I'd just go sit on the bench. I'd
mean,
be like,
looking
I'll
for a
wait here.
screen.
grief, and got lucky that she got fouled going up the sideline.
I'd say, I'll just wait here till y'all are ready.
Needs a little help on the inbound.
And there's a strip.
And there it is, Savage going the other way.
Right now, Shepherd Hill playing on a different frequency right now.
Here's Savage, straightaway 3, front rim no. Crashed on the rebound, down in the hands of Springer. Springer sets up Savage again. Savage, think about it, shoves back with a little jab step and buries the 3 right in the face of Giovanna Smith.
Once again, when she was on the bench for a majority of that second quarter, that's when the Blue Devils needed to attack, and they did not.
Skinner with the foul on her way to the basket. She came full head of steam down the center of the floor, down the center of the paint, through 2 Rams, and got fouled. And she'll go to the line now to shoot 2.
Dandridge picks up a quick second. Team 4th for the Rams. Billy, don't say a word right now. And there it is.
Line drive.
Was I supposed to say something?
No.
She hadn't missed tonight, had she?
Hadn't missed.
I knew what you were thinking.
Hadn't missed.
Hadn't missed from the line yet.
Shots coming very straight out of her hand right now. There's a little arc on that
There it
one
is.
and gets it to go. She had on the last trip down the floor when she had some foul shots in the first half, had that problem too. They made it over the rim. That first one on that trip, line drive right into the front of it. But nice arcing shot to go 1 of 2. 10-point game though, 39-29, and contact drawn by Foss on the drive.
And that's going to go against Riley.
Yeah, both Skinner and Hutchinson gave up their feet.
Nope.
They got up on their toes.
Actually, they got Megan for that, but I think they both the double clothesline there.
For
looked
the
like a
Blue Devils,
wrestling
you
move.
wanted
Yes,
that
it
on, if you wanted that on Hutch. Now they both have 3 instead of Skinner having 4.
And Hutchinson's going to take some time to sit. Akacheri will come in, and this Blue Devil roster now looking a little smaller on the floor. Looking like a 4, maybe a 5-guard lineup out on the floor right now.
They got the quick team out there now.
Tipped away on the inbound there by O'Malley.
Unfortunately, this is a situation where Riley Skinner might really try to do too much. Yeah, we'll have to see if she can maintain some control.
And here
to her
she
game.
comes. She dribbles between 4 Rams. 1 more to beat. She kicked it off for Escobalis. Takes the jumper. Missed. Smith, though, got the rebound. Now for Finnegan. Sets up a Skinner 3. Side of the rim, no. Dandridge, outlet up for Savage. Escobalis is down in a heap, trying to get back into the play. Dandridge feeds Foss. Jumper from the left wing. Won't go. Rebound down. Tipped out of a pack. Last touch by Finnegan, they say. And it will be Ram basketball, 27 to shoot.
We'll tell you one thing, Shepherd Hill Rams miss a ton of shots.
Yeah. But they're getting
They
a ton
get
of
so
offensive
many
rebounds.
offensive rebounds. They are missing a ton. Ooh.
Oh!
Skinner with the swat.
Not in my house.
That's right, but sets
Another
up
one.
Savage. Kicks for O'Malley. Jumper, back rim, no. Finnegan battling with Dandridge on the rebound. Held ball, Leominster basketball. Great hustle play there by Finnegan getting back into the play.
About time the Blue Devils showing a little aggressiveness under that offensive rebounding area.
Finnegan's going to get pummeled.
And she's getting held all the way through that, and the loose ball is picked by the Rams. Dandridge, the jumper, goes. 42-29. Right now, that 8-0 record is in jeopardy. 2:50 to play here in the third quarter. Here's Smith, 3-on-2, drops it off to
good idea.
Nobody in particular, and the ball out of bounds.
No, it was going to Finnegan.
It
was a no look going to Finnegan, and it just went right by her.
Standing around, but nice job there by Smith. Break the press.
O'Malley, Foss, tipped, and the ball to Leominster. Last touch pointed at Dandridge.
So it's full court pressure on the inbounds is just driving Blue Devils nuts here.
A small but enthusiastic student section in attendance tonight. Up floor. Here's Skinner. Skinner drives foul line, takes it all the way to the basket, and buries it. 42-31. Shepherd Hill still maintaining the lead. Skinner on the other end.
Yeah.
Knocks it away, but crazy legs lost it out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds, I think, as she tried to control the dribble there.
Yeah, she had her
Nice
upper
block,
body
though.
inbounds, and the legs were kind of floating away out of bounds, and unfortunately stepped out.
I'd like to see your footwork on that, though.
Riley doing it all right now, though.
O'Malley, quick little jumper, and she's looking for a foul call. Made it nonetheless, 44-31, an inbound and physical contacts. That did draw a foul call.
Pick a number, any number.
Yeah, really?
That one, the 5th on the Rams. Foss is 3rd.
So they have at least 3 players out there right now in the lineup with 3 fouls, correct?
They do have 3 right now, Savage, Foss, and Springer.
Finnegan, the handoff for Smith. Now feeds Skinner. Skinner with the strong take into a pile. Cleanly stripped, apparently. No foul call, out of bounds. And it is Leominster basketball with 17 to shoot. Under 2 to play here in the third quarter. Finnegan for Skinner. Skinner the drive, being held, and the block called on Savage. And for Savage,
God, they're mouthy.
that's number 4, and yep.
They are mouthy.
Welcome to the new age millennial.
That'd be a trip to the dean's office in my classroom. All around.
Late whistle here. I didn't hear anything from the table. No horn, but
Yeah, there was no horn, but here comes Bellatoni in for Savage.
Letting him get Savage out of there.
That's her 4th foul. That would be why.
Finnegan, the drive to the paint, swatted away by Dandridge. Loose ball for Springer, going the other way. Foss, who's kind of been the off guard, but has been carrying the ball quite a bit, steps right up, takes a 3. Back rim, front rim, battle for the rebound. Loose ball to Skinner. Had it tipped away for Finnegan. Skinner gets it back, takes it to the basket, tipped away from her
She
again.
just got shoved out of bounds.
Now,
Just go.
Here's the whole thing. Okay, Dandridge may have got her hand on the ball, but she had to come across
A
her
lot-
in order to
a
get to
lot
it.
of bodies.
That's a foul, no matter how you cut it.
She
Unbelievable.
basically shoved her out of bounds.
Oh!
And Finnegan with the little runner.
Skylar gets it to fall.
Still 11, 44-33.
Oh!
Down to the floor they go. No call. Out of bounds, and the ball back to Leominster.
That was a hard fall there, and it looked like it could have been a travel on the backside of that, but gets him on the out of bounds play.
I feel like there have been a lot of fouls called in this game tonight,
But odd ones?
but not the fouls that,
That should
you
have
would
been.
have called. Like,
Well, you get into a point where when you get this many, the officials are going to have to start picking and choosing, and they just choose the wrong ones.
apparently. And here comes Akacheri. Off a screen. Now for Skinner. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Leominster is going to be chasing at least 11. Here's the drive. Smith chucked it up. No plan. And the rebound down for Springer. Now O'Malley for Foss.
That's a
Through her
foul.
hands and back the other way. And that'll stop the clock with 45 seconds to play here in quarter 3. Leominster looking to close that 11-point gap.
Looks like the building's falling apart over there.
Piece of padding
no
falls
worries.
down at the end of the floor, and this is what I do love about players who are just so darn nice. Riley Skinner was going to actually pick it up and put it back together herself. I mean, you know.
Darling, you're in the game.
Yeah.
Come back.
Athletic director Laureen Sapola said, no,
Nay,
I'll
I'll
get
take care of it.
Just nice kids. Here's Finnegan, the crossover drive to the foul line. Underhand to Koweski.
Just be like, sweetheart, you're busy.
Koweski for Akacheri. 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter, 15 to shoot.
Thank you. Over the back. What do you know?
An over-the-back call for Skinner, who did hit the shot after the whistle.
O'Malley, that'll be her third. Team 7.
He's shooting
so we're
now.
in the bonus.
The rest of the game for the Blue Devils. You know, when you look at the fouls early on, you talked about the Bronx cheer. Blue Devils had 3 quick before Shepherd Hill got there first. All of a sudden, Blue Devils are only at 4. Shepherd Hills quickly climbed to 7 fouls in the second half.
Skinner can't get that one to go, and my thought here is having the bonus is one thing, but you got to make them pay. Swatting at Akacheri, who's on the floor. Held ball is going to be the call, and the ball goes to the Rams.
No love there, just grabbing and grabbing and grabbing.
This is why you don't coach, Todd.
You're darn right.
You're all riled up. He's all riled up, William.
I'm ready, to Bobby Knight something across the floor right now.
And yet he admits he is riled up. To Billy, no.
Not our fearless leader.
Whoa, in the first row.
Over the head of her intended target, Norton. And the ball back to Leominster.
Retrieving her from the hallway.
Yes, indeed. Skinner is going to do the inbounding duties. She's going to let it roll to Finnegan. Save the clock. On the touch. 10 seconds to play here in the third. Smith will drive and hit nothing. Ball was tipped. The ball goes to Shepherd Hill with 2.3 seconds to play here in the third.
Yeah, the ball was tipped, you said. So why do we have a turnover?
And that's the whole thing. It touched nobody but the person who tipped it. And the ball goes back to Leominster.
Welcome to the ball game.
A nice overrule by the official that was trailing the play.
Let's be candid. That was a Dave Palazzi overrule.
And
he looked right at. Didn't you just say it was tipped, dearest?
And Coach Palazzi was making that tip signal. Like
I thought it was making it rain.
No, not exactly. Smith's shot is swatted away.
With .1.
1/10 of a second remaining in the third quarter that won't end. And Skinner will have it. That one, yeah, all right.
This is not going to be physically possible. No.
Nope, it got tipped and that was off. So at the end of 3 quarters, the score, Shepherd Hill 44 and Leominster 33.
Kind of chaotic there that quarter was, huh? And mostly all Shepherd Hill.
Just no words to describe that third quarter of that. I don't even know what to tell you.
I got to tell you, Todd, you know, as chaotic as that quarter looked, that 1 15-second sequence kind of set the tone for the entire quarter.
I agree with you. 6
points, you know, this should be a 3 to 5 point game. That 6 points is a huge difference right now as this fourth quarter is opening up with Shepherd Hill having an 11-point lead.
Blue Devils are not getting many scoring contributions from too many players out there. Right now we have Finnegan and Smith with 5 apiece. Skinner doing the yeoman's work with 13. Akachiri with 2 and Hutchinson with 8. But Hutchinson's been on the bench on and off for a majority of both the second and the third quarters. Hey, it's Mr. I've never been on TV running by again.
He will now have been on TV. He
doesn't even know it.
Won't have realized
Next week when he asks us, we can tell him, you were on TV. We even talked about you.
I was doing some pregame notes, and he asked me if we needed some help tonight on the broadcast.
I bet he did.
I think we're all, we don't have an extra headset. We're all set.
Billy will be taking some vacation time.
Yeah,
Perhaps he's auditioning. Skinner will inbound here from half court to open the fourth and final quarter of play. Leominster is chasing 11. Finnegan. Little jumper from the right elbow. That could set the tone. 44-35. Bellatoni brings it up floor. Inside for Springer. Springer backs down, draws the contact from Skinner, and count the basket.
Come on, man. I love fans. Come on, man.
Very enthusiastic but small crowd of students on hand, but they've been involved throughout the night. Springer's shot was missed, and Skinner's got herself a rebound. Skinner, 4-on-3 down the floor, waits at the top of the key. Off to Finnegan. Finnegan inside to Hutchinson. Can't grab the handle. Bellatoni's got the basketball. Bellatoni gave it up and walked with it. Andor went over and back. No call there along the midcourt stripe. Here's the drive, and there's a traveling call. Same thing happened at half court. Check the replay. 7:21 to play in the fourth quarter. 46-35. Shepherd Hills lead.
I think, Billy, we're going to have to move Todd up there in the corner with the rest of the fans. Come on, man.
It's getting to the point of frustration now.
Just have fun like Billy and I.
For Hutchinson. Now for Akacheri. Akacheri has it poked away by Norton. Norton the take. Laid it in and good.
And I think it needs to be mentioned, we didn't on that last foul call, but Riley Skinner now playing with 4.
Yes, yes, indeed. The driving kick. Here's Hutchinson. Fouled on the floor. That's because she couldn't get her arms above her head.
So you're going to be shooting 1-and-1. See if our newfound magic at the foul line can be put to good use. Should I tell you what a secret is?
No, not at this moment in time. But what I can tell you, Bill Thomas, is what does need to happen is they've had this bonus now, about a couple minutes left in the third quarter. You got to make a count here.
Nice call.
That one is off.
Nice job.
Those are the types of things they've got to finish around the rim.
I blame you.
O'Malley, the 3, and hits.
Not just the 3, but a wide open 3. Nobody playing defense up on her out at the arc.
51-35. If you're watching along with us at home, this is a good time to hit that panic button. Shot missed. Rebound down for Springer. Springer for Bellatoni. She'll bring it up floor. Finds Norton. Norton triple threat position. Back to the basket. Now puts the left-handed dribble. Goes over to the right. O'Malley inside Springer. Springer warded off Akacheri. Now inside it's Dandridge. Got it up on the glass and down it goes.
Pretty move down the lane there by Dandridge. One dribbling up. Nice little spin move.
Finnegan, driving kick into the hands of Hutchinson. Held ball, Ram basketball.
This thing's not going Blue Devils' way tonight. Going to get it all out of your system, have it all happen in one game, I guess.
This is going to prove to be a character-building basketball game, I think, when we look back on this one. It might be that one that reminds you that you're not perfect.
Sometimes the best thing for you.
I don't think anybody had any expectations of having an undefeated season.
Oh, of course not.
You would have liked to have seen them lay one on Shepherd Hill tonight.
Yes, indeed. Skinner gets the layup to go. 53-37, 5.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Still a good chunk of time, but they're going to need a series of turnovers in order to get it to go. Skinner tipped that one away. Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi joins us post-game courtside tonight. We'll look forward to talking to him. Bellatoni for Springer. Springer back to O'Malley. O'Malley for Norton. Tipped and picked by Hutchinson. Hutchinson dribbling it up floor. Gets hip checked on her way down the right sideline. And 1-and-1 and a couple of shots for Hutchinson.
Norton's second, team 9th for the Rams.
Hutchinson gets that one to go. And Coach Palazzi is going to take a timeout. 5:17 to play in the fourth quarter. 53-38, Shepherd Hills lead. And this is that opportunity perhaps to build on.
I mean, I think at the very least you want to try to at least win the rest of the game. And, play this. You got to play every game situational and try to compartmentize what's going on. And, Coach Palazzi is very good at that, whether, we've seen him on the football field, whether they're up 20, down 20. They're always playing for that next play, try to win that next series, try to win that quarter, that half. And I think that's what the Lady Blue Devils are looking at right now, just trying to win these last 5 minutes, set the tone a little bit. These two teams will be matching up again later on in the season, and no time to start playing towards that than right now. It's never too late to try to set the wheels in motion.
Friday night, February the 10th, these two teams match up down in Dudley.
And unfortunately, Todd, I think I'll be on vacation.
You will be.
I will be checking in with you via social media, though, and seeing how we're doing. I am sticking around for the Fitchburg-Leominster rematch over at the field house over at Fitchburg High School. That's for sure. I wouldn't miss that one.
Certainly another doubleheader on tap for that one coming up on Tuesday, February 7th.
Doubleheader basketball, doubleheader broadcast that evening, I believe.
Doubleheader for everybody.
It's past my bedtime.
Hutchinson cannot get that one to go. That's why I'm always of two minds of taking the time out to split the foul shots. Dandridge, square, has that swarming defense. Blue Devils trying to double team the ball here. Koweski going back and forth.
That's what
Wide
happens,
open.
though.
Springer ends up laying it in. Had to take a gamble there. I'm sure that's what Coach Palazzi was talking about. Got to try to cause a little chaos. Skinner takes the three. It was deflected after liftoff.
Late foul call there after the ball was jarred loose.
It's a possession foul, just the 6th against Leominster in the second half. 4:47 to play here in the fourth quarter. 55-38, Shepherd Hills lead. Happy to have you along with us tonight here on Leominster TV alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins. I am Todd Robbins, our award-winning executive producer Bradley Bedard, bringing you the pictures tonight high above courtside here at the gym at Leominster High School.
Bradley Bedard, boss man.
Bounce pass, Dandridge feeds down low. It's laid in and good by Foss.
Great job by Shepherd Hill. Lady Rams breaking the double team, looking under the basket, weak side especially, but getting a number of layups now as the game's winding down.
Finnegan for Hutchinson, out to Koweski. Koweski over for Akacheri, inside to the post. Hutchinson had a tip from behind cleanly by Springer.
And
Battle to the floor, and Hutchinson drops Bellatoni, and
That's
that
her
will
fifth.
do.
She's done.
Yep. Billy, talking about the Lady Rams being able to hit those layups. Right now, no missed shots for the Rams in the fourth quarter.
I don't think they've had a shot less than 5 feet away from the basket.
Yep. Very efficient down there on
Well,
the
more, I
boards.
should say more than 5 feet away from the basket. But working those double teams nicely, the perimeter, finding the weak side of that, cut it down the lane, and that's what you get out of those. When you double team, somebody's going to be open, and Lady Rams doing a good job finding that player.
Both efficient and effective.
That won't go. Battle for the rebound. Loose ball bounces up floor to Finnegan. Finnegan, drive to the basket. Hard underside of the rim, won't go. And here we go. Foss up floor for Dandridge. Bangs it in and good. 59-38. And the rout is on here at the gym at Leominster High School. Finnegan for Akacheri. Akacheri, drive to the foul line. Kick back Finnegan. Finnegan for Koweski. Playing catch with Finnegan. Ball thrown away and going the other way. It's Foss. Back for Bellatoni. Tiptoes through the tulips and lays that one in.
Still no missed shots for the Rams in this quarter. Now, mind you, they had been shooting 29% at the half.
And can't miss here in the fourth quarter.
8 of 8 in the fourth quarter.
That's a pretty amazing stat for
Yes,
our
it
high
is.
school basketball team.
That's why I keep them, William. That's why I keep them. Notice he didn't say I was amazing. It was just an amazing stat.
You're amazing.
I'll
Skinner,
leave that up to Todd.
Skinner's at the line.
You're fishing.
10th foul against Shepherd Hill called. This was a guaranteed 2, and Skinner hit the first.
Skinner with 16 points on the night for the Blue Devils.
Been a quiet 16, though, I must say.
Must you?
Blue Devils, I must. Blue Devils not going to come anywhere near their 52.4 season average.
No, not at all.
Well on pace to their lowest scoring game of the year. This one will go. Leominster into the 40s. A 21-point lead, though, for Shepherd Hill. 61-40. 3:05 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Lowest score previously 47 for the Blue Devils on the season.
In a win against Algonquin where they only scored 32. A jumper, missed, swatted down on the rebound. Smith couldn't bring it in. Bellatoni gets it. Smith got a hand on the ball, but it will not go.
Fans not happy with that call. Sideline referees, all ball. Always looks like all ball from over there.
Of course it does. And that one will go for Bellatoni. The Blue Devils were not able to capitalize from the point where Savage went out with her 4 fouls. She has not sniffed the floor since picking up that 4th foul.
Doesn't need to.
And has not needed to. That is correct, Kate. And you know, Bellatoni handling the ball at the point you would actually think you would want to kind of pressure her, try to get some pressure on her. not so successful. Gabriella Frederick getting her first action tonight. Inside, Skinner throws up a shot.
Jeez
Down
Louise.
she goes to the floor.
In a heap.
2 shots coming her way.
I think I heard every single joint hit the floor.
Well, you talk about the number of times Riley Skinner hits the floor. The knee
The knee
protection
pads,
she's wearing,
all ripped.
they're all tore up. I noticed on the
Todd, I
inbounds
see your
play over
face.
here.
You're wondering why is Savage coming back in the game.
A 22-point
Yeah,
lead after that
there it
made
is.
free throw at 63-41.
And this is
And
Todd's
here
face
comes
for
Savage.
what
And we
is she
bring the
doing?
starters
Back
back in.
into the basketball game. Out goes a couple of their post players, Molly Springer, Kyra Foss, part of their starting lineup. But Savage comes back in, up 22.
It's called sportsmanship, isn't it?
Need a ball handler out there.
We report, you decide.
I can tell you that Coach Dave Palazzi has taken a mental picture of that substitution.
It's kind of like bunting when you're up 10.
Yep.
Nice job by Skinner on the steal.
And
Taking
Skinner
it high
will
to
lay
the
it in and good. 63-44. 2:18 to play here in the fourth
I'll
quarter.
tell you, every coach just took a picture of that little substitution right there. Starters coming on back in with a 20-point lead. Sounds
Ball
good.
tipped back out, loose ball to the floor. Battle now, and Frederick able to score the tie up and the ball back to Leominster. 2:05 to play here in the fourth quarter.
You think you might ask the coach about that during the post game?
No.
They're yeah, they're talking right now.
Little hand gesture going
And
on.
yeah, I
there.
was going to
Hey,
say.
maybe I'll ask.
Hey, I'm coaching my team and you coach your team or something like that,
And
maybe.
there was some gesticulation on that sideline. Smith throws up a shot, it won't go. Outlet from Dandridge. There is again, as I said in the first half, no love lost between these two teams, and this performance tonight certainly not going to help that relationship. Here's Savage, jumper, swatted down inside. Dandridge through to Bellatoni, down for Norton. Inside, here's a take. That's Danielle Donnelly seeing some of her first action tonight. Donnelly on the low left block, almost got herself on the score sheet. Donnelly gets reloaded, jumper for 2, why not?
Fire away.
65-44, 1:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Post-game show coming up here on Leominster TV. Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi will join us courtside, as well as we will preview action coming in the coming weeks. Plenty of games, both boys and girls, still to come here on Leominster TV, about halfway through this basketball season. Savage goes down low to Dandridge, thrown back out to Bellatoni. Now to Norton.
Four-corner stall.
Yes, indeed, passing around the perimeter. Savage pulls up for a 3.
Why not?
And hits with 3 seconds on the shot clock. 68-44.
I want to start screaming.
It's only one loss, whether it's by 1 or by 20.
And the
The best part is
it's
that
giggles.
the coaching staff giggling on the sideline.
The giggles on the floor and on the sideline.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, nothing better than the MIAA sportsmanship, which I'm
Let's
sure
hope
is
they don't
posted
get it.
somewhere here.
Let's just hope they don't get it.
Dandridge looks down low. Savage can't get that one to go. Lost it out of bounds. Send the ball back to Leominster.
She's too close to the basket. She's not used to getting that kind of look.
Grace Adams will check into the game for the Blue Devils.
There's still giggling going on.
Spelling Riley Skinner, who will come out of the game as the final seconds will tick off. That ball thrown away, although deflected, they say. Leominster will keep the basketball. Just one of those nights as the crowd heads to the exit. Just 6.2 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Inbound. Akacheri looking for Frederick. To the floor they go. Tied up. Clock runs out, and yeah, we're not going to put any time back on the clock in
wait
this
for
one.
that to end.
68-44. Shepherd Hill is a winner, snapping Leominster's 8-0 record. Leominster will fall to 8-1, 2-1 in Midwatch A. Shepherd Hill will run their record to 4-2 in Midwatch, in overall, and 2-1 in Midwatch A. Bring the two teams into the proverbial dead heat in Midwatch A as well. 68-44, Shepherd Hill is a winner. Post-game show comes up next. Stay tuned. We've got full stats for you. Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi and preview games to come right here on Leominster TV. You're watching Leominster High School Hoops right here on Leominster TV. Back inside the gym at Leominster High School, 68-44. Shepherd Hill a winner tonight over Leominster, and joined now by Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi. And Coach, if I was to simply sum this one up, not your night?
Well, you know, they kind of did what we expected. I mean, I wrote on the board with Coach Barnaby, our assistant coach, you know, rebound, rebound, rebound. And, you know, our game plan was to try to pack it in and let them beat us with the three-pointer and pack it in so we could get rebounds. And we knew coming in their height and their talent. And, you know, we just didn't rebound the basketball. I mean, we have to work harder in practice as a coach. We're just going to have to go over that and go over it and over it again. I mean, they're kind of a tough matchup where they have those three bigs or 2.5 bigs to say, you know, and then they have, you know, O'Malley and Savage out there. And, you know, we just kind of said, hey, let's get beat by the three early on, but we're going to box out. And unfortunately, we got beat by the three and didn't box out.
You mentioned the rebounds in this game, tabulating shooting percentages. A lot of missed shots by the Shepherd Hill Rams. By the end of the game, they had a blistering fourth quarter, but averaging around 29% for a majority of the game. But the offensive rebounds really did do you in about 2-1, at least in the offensive rebound category. So to that point that you just make, that really was in the game plan coming in. That certainly is the name of the game tonight.
Well, we scouted them, and the game plan was they get most of their offense on putbacks, and we baited them to beat us with the three. And again, you know, they did hit some big threes on us, but the offensive rebounds were killers. You know, and we have a young team, and you know, the type of defense we're trying to put out there to try to have some offense and you know, maybe make the best out of who we have on the floor. You know, you have to pick your poison sometimes, and you know, they just did what they do, and we got to get better at boxing out and grabbing the ball and getting the rebound. You know, Faith Akachiri's a freshman. She's great out there, but, you know, she's young, and those girls are juniors and seniors kind of pushing her around a little bit, but she's fighting and battling and, you know, blocking shots and just playing fantastic. So I love our effort. I mean, we got to coach a little better and kind of put us in a better position to win, I think, and try to make some adjustments. But there's a lot of things we can learn from this game, and you know, I know that the girls are excited to get back at it tomorrow, watch film, and kind of move on.
It was a game where you were kind of right on the cusp of just about overcoming and never quite got inside of a one-point barrier that you couldn't overcome. But there was a sequence late in the second half, somewhere in that third quarter action down here to our right-hand side. They make a two-point basket on the possession. They swipe an inbound. They get 2 more points. They swipe another inbound. They get 2 more points. And it's a 6-point swing. And at that moment in the game, it felt like it became that insurmountable number you couldn't get over.
Yeah, and that's the third facet of the game that, you know, we got Coach Barnaby and I, we coached it a little bit on the press break. We kind of thought they might do it, but with their kids in foul trouble, we didn't expect them to do it. So, you know, we probably should have went over the press break a little more. We did go over it. We went over it and over it. We knew we were going to do that. You know, we know we have a freshman guard, and we know, you know, at times they're going to pressure us. And I thought that was a big part of their taking the lead on us. I think they had 4 or 5 possessions where they just got layups and the inbounds plays too. I mean, those were killers. So, you know, that's all coaching, and we just got to, you know, break down the game for the girls and kind of show them, you know, how to get better at not letting those things happen again.
You mentioned a moment ago the fact that the girls are looking forward to watching film and getting back at it tomorrow. This is kind of one of those things as a coach when you see the W's adding up one right after another, sometimes particularly with a young team, they're on that roll. Sometimes it's a good thing because ignorance is bliss if they've never gone through it before. But some of the veterans, you can kind of sense sometimes when those wins start adding up that tension that can exist with the expectation of continuing that ride into the end of the season. A game like this can be a character builder in especially in the middle of the season, so that the pressure is off and they can get back down to business. Sounds good that they look excited to look at film tomorrow.
Yeah, and you kind of alluded to, I call it hoping and praying. Sometimes you're on the basketball court and you're 8-0 and you get to a point in the game where you hope and pray things go your way rather than try to slow the game down and do all the little things that need to be done to stay close to the other team or get the win. And that comes with experience. And, you know, we have 2 freshmen starting for us, Skylar Finnegan and Faith Akachiri. And then, we have our other starters, but they're young and they're coming along. So, they're going to learn. I mean, I can't imagine playing varsity basketball when I was a freshman. So, I'm pretty proud of the way they've played and how they hustle, and we hustle, and that's most important. And I think the way we're coming together as a team and unselfishness, those things go a long way. So I got to agree with you. I mean, it's a tough loss, but I think it's good to be able to learn and see what we need to do to get better.
Absolutely.
Gauntlet run started tonight against Shepherd Hill, and the next stop is Marlborough on Tuesday night, and then at Wachusett after that. You play basically the top teams in the Midwatch in about a 5 to 10 day stretch. That's a tough run here, and another tough opponent coming in against Marlborough on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any easier. So, we love the challenge. I mean, we're not going to back down from anybody, and we know what we're up against. I mean, everybody can see everybody. It's 9-10 games into the season, and we just have to continue to work together and get better at what we're doing. And that's really what I love about this team. They'll do anything we tell them. They work hard in practice. They're leaders in practice. They shoot whatever we practice, and whatever they're not good at, they do. We split them up, and you see all different things going on. The players, if their hands they can't catch, they're pounding the ball in their hands, and they're dribbling lefties. So, they want to get better and they want to win. So it's an amazing thing to see. So I'm just proud of how they work hard, and hopefully we can get some wins in this stretch.
Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday night. 68-44, Leominster drops this one to fall to 8-1 on the season. More post-game when we come back. You're watching Leominster High School basketball right here on Leominster TV.